In today's shiur, we learn that on Shabbos, we touch the edge of not just the relative Makkif, which we spoke is bina, which is a keser for zav, for the midos. Rather, we touch real, true, absolute Makkif. What is the explanation? So we spoke on the one hand about the fact that on Shabbos, you say, וקראת על Shabbos עונג, you call out the pleasure of Shabbos. Isn't Shabbos itself pleasure? Why should you have to call out the pleasure? So the Rebbe explains, no. Shabbos itself is rest, and that's a perfect opportunity to have Όνeg. But you have to reach out. Όνeg is like the 8th level, which is higher than the 7. So you're actually through focusing on what the task of the day, meaning the opportunity that Shabbos provides, which is it is experiencing the relative Makkif, and it provides opportunity to reach absolute Makkif. That through that, and Rabbi even said through learning Chassidus on Shabbos, that helps a person reach a true pleasure. And we see this level in the fact that there are brochos for mitzvahs. And the brochos are the Rabbanan made the brochos. And in the brochos we say Asher Kiddushana b'mitzvahs avitzivanu. We know the question. What do you mean Hashem made us halik with His mitzvahs and He commanded us? Which actually Hashgacha Pratis is today's Tanya. Hashem didn't command us to do the mitzvahs, the Rabbanan, and for sure didn't command us to do the bracha. But the Rebbe says no, because in the bracha we say the word Asher, that, and the Asher is also Meloshin Asher, pleasure. So that's where we see that, and we say the bracha before the mitzvah, right? Whatever it says in today's Tanya, that's the level of the mitzvah itself. And the bracha is oiver la'asiyasan. You say it before the mitzvah because it's actually higher than the mitzvah. Before meaning higher. The Rebbe goes on to say that this level is true, absolute, pure Makkif, being the fact that it's an ayin which is higher than Havayah. Havayah is already the strategized, organized process for to go down. Yud is Chachma, Hey is Bina, Vav is the Midas, and the second Hey is Malchus. That's a process how the Ur comes down into the world. But the level of that we're experiencing, the Makkif of Shabbos, is higher than the Havayah. So we learn about 3 ways of Havayah. We learn about the most basic, pure, basic form of Havayah is the structure of Atzilus. Within that, there's a second form of Havayah, the pure Havayah of Atzilus. Meaning, in general, Havayah, Atzilus is Havayah, and Biyah is Elikim, or Biyah is Elikim. But even in Havayah, there's the core, the crux of the even in Atzilus, the crux of the Havayah component of Atzilus. That is Tiferes. Tiferes is the Keli, and the Ur is called Havayah. In Chesed, it's Kel Havayah. Like the pasuk Kel Havayah Vayir Elanu. So Kel is Chesed, the Keli Chesed, and Havayah is the Ur. In Gevura, it's Havayah Elikim. So Havayah is the Ur, and Elikim is the Keli of Gevura. But Tiferes, it's Havayah. The Ur and the Keli are both Havayah. Now the third Havayah is any Or that's after the Tzimtzum, even from the Kav. The Kav is considered the Yud of the Havayah. This is more like Atzilus HaKlali, so to speak, even though it's not Atzilus HaKlali, but it's the Havayah HaKlali. The Havayah HaKlali is from after the Kav, from after the Tzimtzum, from the Kav, that's already the Yud. Then it goes down in different dargas, and it ends in, if I'm not mistaken, in Atzilus. So the point that I wanted to bring is that Havayah is Ur that's higher than the Ur that goes into the Keli. It's just pure Ur. Like we say, Kale Havayah. The Kale is the Keli that's not Havayah. That's the Ur, which is not absorbed into the Keli, that still stays Havayah. There is an Ur that's absorbed into the Keli that's called Kale. That's the Ur that changed into the name Kale, but the Havayah is pure. This being the case, that Havayah means it's higher than the slapshus and the kelis. The Havayah is light, which is not going to absorb into the vessels. So that is in sync. That fits with what we said earlier, that Shabbos is essence of the mind, pure intelligence, pure intellect, which is higher than our reality, so to speak, our social, emotional reality of the midos, that's the world we live in, and pure intellect is higher than that. That would be compared to the Havayah. But we actually able to reach a level that's higher than that, which is the ayin. And the Rebbe brings two examples of this. He says the first example is of a teacher giving over to a student. When the teacher has idea in his mind, it's pure. And even when he gives over to the student, at that moment there's a pureness to it. And the student's going to grasp it, he's going to lose some of that pureness. But the Havayah is the pureness, the way it comes directly from God. He actually brought another fascinating example. He said, in breath, in speech, in the sound of our voice, we have it's a pure sound, without words. The fact that we can make a sound, that's not. It's called koel pashut. It's pure. It's a pure, undiluted sound. When you add words to it, when you break it up with your lips and your tongue and different parts of your mouth, that breaks it up. But the pure sound, that's considered pure, a higher level, a level that's higher than words. And you might ask, what about the fact that the voice also made of wind, air, and fire, three components which create the ability for our voice to exist. So the Rebbe says that actually proves the point, that the same point that works in our favor, because we live in a world where it's made up of different things. We're made up of various components. But when we say that there's Havayah in the world, like for example on Shabbos, but even though there's various components, but they're all synchronized and blended into be one pure thing, that's what we can experience on Shabbos. But we still say that we have a level higher than that, which we tap into, we touch the edge of it, which is pure, absolute Makkif. Have a great day.